God is the doer of everything. So on the topic, you can say something upon whatever it is in your mind, what you feel upon the topic, you can say something. And afterwards, you can have some more discussion around the topic. Okay. Now I would like to say something, and afterwards you can see on question and answer. First of all, each and every moment we have psychological experiences. When we face the situation, naturally we have psychological response. The response may be in a good manner, just like a happiness. Sometimes we may have some tension, sorrow, fear. In that, anything may happen like this. But when we have some experience in the form of an emotion, naturally we have some idea that is happened to me. All the experience happened to me. So we take the role of the me, the I consciousness, that I am having this kind of experience. I am having this kind of emotion. So in this way, we want to separate our emotions. We want to keep our emotion in a good state. The me, the I consciousness, try to shape ourselves psychologically. That is our preliminary anxiety for everybody. Then we do many kind of meditation, yoga practices or anything, and their way we keep our mind in a good state. So for the beginners, it is also good. There is no doubt about it. We can keep our mind in a peace of mind, in a good emotion, good situation, good feelings. So it is only for the beginners. And afterwards, the very understanding that we have no work at all with related to the psychological emotions. So the I consciousness, the me, has to understand that we have no work at all with related to our psychological emotions. When we don't participate with anything with related to our mind, with related to our emotions, all happens within our mind, goes away naturally. Whatever comes will go away naturally. When we want to regulate anything, then only some unnecessary struggle, unnecessary problem, unnecessary friction is going on within our mind. Otherwise, everything will be flowing just like a river. It is the natural sequence related to our psychological system. Then we move to the second part, that is the external situation. The situation, if the situation is good and normal, there is no problem at all. Sometimes the situation may be worst. Sometimes the situation may be a challenging one. We have to face the situation in a serious intention, serious attention. We have to fight with the situation. We have to do all our effort with related to the situation. Because all the situation reflect within ourselves in the form of some anxiety, fear, tension, in the way all the situation reflects within ourselves. So here, situation is one side, the psychological response is on the other side. So here we have to meet the psychological response on one part. On the other part, we have to face the external situation and we have to do the necessary things with related to the external situation. So here, what is the role of the topic? So sometimes the situation, if the situation is normal and good, we can very easily say everything is done by God. Sometimes the situation may be worst, challenging and problematic. So we cannot easily say it is created by God. So here we have already seen how to approach the external situation. So in the external situation are concerned, we have to take some decision. We have to take some conclusion. Sometimes in the situation, we cannot act, we cannot respond in a proper way. So in this way, in that time, we have to come to a conclusion that we have to wait for sometimes. Sometimes we may not do what kind of work, or whether we have to do this kind of work or that kind of work, we can have some conclusion. We can have some confusion. So in that time, we have to conclude our approach. We have to take a decision. This I have to do. This I don't. We should not do. So in this way, what we have to do? In that way, we have to arrive. We have to arrive to a conclusion. If you do not come to a conclusion, the wandering mind alone will be there. The wandering mind will create more confusion within our mind. It will reflect more upon our mind. So we have to come to a conclusion what we have to do and what we should not do. Sometimes the situation is not proper, we have to wait. We have to come to a conclusion that we have to wait for sometimes. So anyway, we have to come to a conclusion. Then only we can have a balanced mind to meet the situation. Otherwise, the mind is not ready to meet the situation. Because the psychological experience is agitating with related to the external situation. So the me is on the one side, the external situation on the other side. We can have some clash within the both the me and the external situation. So here in that time, the doer, the God is the doer of everything, is also a conclusion. If you arrive to the conclusion, for example, if you just like the other thing, you have to do something or not, other we have to wait for something. This is a conclusion. The God is the doer of everything. It is also a kind of conclusion. If you get the conclusion like this, naturally the me will be soft, because the agitation will be very less. Because God takes the responsibility of everything, so we can do anything in a possible way alone. We need not struggle for more. So in this way, our expectation is somewhat, the force of the expectation may be somewhat minimized. So the tension, the psychological tension is somewhat minimized. This is one kind of conclusion. The other thing, the other approach, because we think I am the doer of the situation, I am the person who have to face the situation, I am the me is the responsible person to deal with all the situation. We take the role like this. When we shoulder all our responsibility in our hand, naturally the situation will be problematic and the reflection will be more serious, because I am the responsible person. So if the loss happen to the situation, the loss will reflect upon me. If some unnecessary thing happen to the situation, the unnecessary thing will reflect upon me, because I am responsible for the situation. Because I am responsible for the me is responsible for to settle the situation. So we take the whole responsibility. The me takes the whole responsibility. So here, God is the doer of everything. How it functions upon the me. So if God is the doer of everything, here we think the me is the doer of the some situation. So if you allow the caption, allow the topic, allow the title that God is the doer of everything, we have to take the role of God himself. The me has to take the role of God himself. So we have to take ourselves to be God. The me has to take the role of God. The me has to take the title of God. The same thing. As everything is done by, the situation is done by God is one thing on the one side. The other side, the me himself is the God. I am God, I am Brahmasmi, Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Atma, the same concept. The me is the God. If you, it is also a kind of conclusion. As everything is done by God is a conclusion, a statement. The me is God is a kind of statement, a kind of conclusion. If you arrive to the conclusion like this, that means God is unquestionable. So the me should be placed in an unquestionable state. So in the olden days, all kings are considered beyond the laws, beyond all their land laws. So no king can be questioned by law. No king can be questioned by a court of law. So they made the statement like this: king can do no wrong. They termed us as a legal maxim: king can do no wrong because he is beyond laws. He is beyond all limitations. So in this way, God is beyond all our questioning. We cannot question God. So if we accept ourselves to be God, if we accept the me as God, because we consider he is the doer of the situation. If we accept the me as the God, so that means we place ourselves in an unquestionable state. So if we place ourselves in an unquestionable state, so your total psychological system will be compromised. So you will have some free mind. And within the free mind, you can attend the situation. So if you attend the situation in a free mind, the attending the situation in a way just like a meditation. Meditation means focusing our all energy upon a point, upon a situation, upon a thing. So our focusing upon centering and focusing all our attention upon a point of think, upon a situation, that is meditation. The yoga, so the oneness, the joining with things. So in this way, we easily join with the activities. Here we can apply your free will also, because only because of your free will alone, you can do something in the required situation. In the required situation, we can apply your free will and attention, your energy. But at the same time, the conclusion alone, we have to coin our conclusion. Everything is done by God. God is the doer of everything. The me himself is also the God. So it is also a kind of conclusion. Within the conclusion, we can do freely. Whatever thing we have to do. Otherwise, we can simply say whatever happening within our mind, whether it may be an emotion or the I consciousness or the me, everything is it is just like a shadow. We need not worry about that. We can have our situation alone is real, and we have to do the necessary things in the situation. That is also fine. We need not worry about the me. We need not worry about the psychological reactions. Sometimes it may be in a painful situation, tension or anything. We need not worry about that. Here, it is our intellect says it is just like a shadow. We need not worry about this shadow. In this way, we can take ourselves to be the shadow. We can take the me and all the related emotions as a shadow, and we need not worry about the shadow. In this way also we can conclude the psychological world and we can proceed to the external world. But the external world is the real world. What all we think, we have to do the necessary things. But what the necessary thing is that We have to avoid the unnecessary reactions within ourselves. Then only the relationship between the man and the work will be normal, and it will be quite easy. So in this way, we can make use of the statement, the doer, the God is the doer of everything. It can be applied to the physical situation, and it can be applied to the psychological emotion, as me. In both way, we can apply, and we can apply it as a conclusion. And if we have arrived to the conclusion, but does not mean we need not we need not keep ourselves without any work to attend to the external situation. We have to do our act. We have to do our work. We have to do our maximum effort. But in support of our work, in support of our activities, we can make use of the conclusion like God is the doer of everything in the external situation, and as well as in the psychological expression also concerned. Okay.
So just, I want to make sure I understand. From what I understood, and please tell me if this is right or wrong. You can take a religious view or a non-religious view about this. So if it's not religious view, you don't even have to bring God in. You just see that you have no business with your inner emotions. Your business is only with making decisions about action in the outer world. This causes an ease because you don't really have to worry about what you're feeling inside. That's all just like a shadow. It happens after the fact. And you just make decisions as best you can with an ease of mind as to the external world. That's one hand. On the other hand, if you have a religious view and you believe in God is controlling everything, then you have to see that you also are God, and the decisions you make are also made by God, which results in the same kind of relaxation and ease of mind about what you do in the world. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah. Here, okay. Because in the psychological world, previously all the people are just trying to establish a good state within our mind. So there, for that reason, we are doing many yoga, many practice to keep ourselves in a good state. So that is meaningless. For a beginner, everything is good. For afterwards, we have to free from all states of mind. So that is psychologically, that alone is correct. But with physical things, it's not like that. Physical things, we have to establish a good state, good country, good people, good situation. So for that, we have to work. We cannot forbid the work. We have to encourage the work. For that, we can make use of the religious ideas also. For that, but at the same time, we should not unnecessarily disturb because of the situation. Now we have to minimize the disturbance of the situation. We can make use of these statements, religious statements. Everything is done by God, or me himself is the God. So whatever it be, everything is useful. To that useful extent, we can make use of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.